I wouldn't do it on Sunday. I had that much respect for God. Nobody else talked about it. It was a sin. It was a sin that needed to be addressed, and I wasn't crazy for feeling convicted about it. Gladys, girl, I was the same place. Like,
yeah, all praises to the Most High. Yeah, new creature, not that old guy. Yeah, good wife, no more soul ties. Yeah, gotta get up on your grown man.
Okay. So welcome back to my channel, everybody. Welcome if you're new. My name is Coriana. I go by Silent Progress on YouTube. My name is Coriana, and I do vlogs. I do beauty, lifestyle, and faith-based content on YouTube. It took a while for me to get this video uploaded because sometimes I just don't feel the spirit to, or sometimes God is just working on me during that time. But I did do a book review a year back from today, a year ago. So I want to start that back on my channel. You guys gotta let me know if you guys like it or not. But I do feel as though even if I don't get any people viewing the video, I'm gonna listen to God and continue to do it because some girl or some man needs to hear it. It's gonna be for somebody. So I want to be obedient and still put out the content whether I don't get the views or not, because it's gonna reach somebody sooner or later. So yeah, I'll be reviewing Imperfect book review by Gladys Olivia McCrae. She's a fellow FAMU Rattler and I wanted to do this book review just because I think it's gonna reach somebody, and it's my personal testimony that I'll just give you a little hint on while reading this book review. The book is about purity and celibacy and keeping yourself abstinence, celibate to marriage. So it's about that. It's called Imperfect. It's the book here. And this is Gladys here. Again, she went to FAMU. A faith-based literary work, 2018, that confronts the gray areas of sexual immorality and redefines a godly celibacy journey. You know, I've been on a celibacy journey since 2017. To defining sexual purity, it could all be so simple. Fornication is having sex outside of marriage. Sexual purity is not having sex outside of marriage. But what about when it's not that simple? What about when you're at a crossroad because action is sexual, but it's technically not sex? Is it right? Is it wrong? Or is it in between? And so that's what the book's gonna be about. I'm just gonna let you guys know what scriptures or what quotes in her book that I found helpful for me and hopefully for you. I don't want to ruin the book, but I do want to give you some insight and let you guys know that you should purchase the book because it's awesome. It got me through. It's getting me through. So page 41 started, would they think I was nasty, desperate, a freak, a fraud, or a hypocrite? Page 26, that's when masturbating became as much of a hobby as it was for a coping mechanism. When I wanted to feel good, I masturbated. When I didn't want to feel anything, I masturbated. When I got sad or angry, I masturbated. The few minutes that I was pleasing myself, my mind was on pleasing and not on pain. I did it as a hobby, but God convicted me every other day. It is a battle that I fight consistently. So, as you can tell what the book is about already, it's about saturation. And as a Christian woman, I struggle with this, especially just getting out of just getting to know God. That first few years I struggle with it. It's been about 2 years since, I was gonna say 2 months. It's been about 2 years now since I stopped my last time. I felt convicted, just as she said in the book. Would they think I was nasty, desperate, or a freak, a fraud, or a hypocrite? So in my Christian journey, I felt like, how am I going to church and then, or Bible study? Usually it was Bible study. I wouldn't do it on Sunday. I had that much respect for God. But it was, how could I do it during Bible study, after Bible study, or before Bible study, and then come on YouTube and act like nothing was wrong, or come go to work or whatever and still feel like nothing was wrong. It was wrong, and I felt convicted when my friend would call me before I would do it. I still feel convicted, and I just did it as a hobby. I did it as a hobby, and most people do, but it's wrong. And I'm not gonna be, I don't want this video to make you feel condemned, but I do want it to pull on your heartstrings to just say, you know, it's wrong and you should stop it, because it's cheating yourself out of the process. God is pruning you, and so he wants you to give your body, your whole self to him. Everybody's different. I'm not gonna be on here condemning you. Everybody's different. Everybody's journey with God and spirituality journey is different. But mine's, God was pulling on me. He told me to stop, but it took me a while. But hopefully with this book review, you'll feel convicted, and hopefully it'll help you out a little bit. So yeah, page 38. Therefore, you are not practicing celibacy if you're having oral sex. You're not practicing celibacy if you're being fingered. You're not practicing celibacy if you're masturbating. You're not practicing celibacy if you're using sex toys. You're not practicing celibacy if you're dry humping. You're not practicing celibacy if you're giving hand jobs. You're not practicing celibacy if you're watching pornography. And can we get a moment for that? Because in the book, she talked about it all. In page 39, it says, for a long time, masturbating had been my closest struggle. I was afraid to talk about it because nobody else talked about it. It was a sin. It was a sin that needed to be addressed, and I wasn't crazy for feeling convicted about it. Gladys, girl, I was the same place. Like, I felt like I have another friend who I talked about it to with, and she said she's done it too. And I have another friend who talked about it, and she said she doesn't have a problem with masturbating. She didn't have that problem, but for me, I had a problem with it, and it needed to be addressed, and I needed to talk to about it. And for so long I had to struggle, and I didn't know what to do. And so reading this book, it got me through. Even now, me being I was addicted to pornography, and I was addicted to saturation. I'm not gonna say masturbation on here. I'm gonna try to keep that a limit, but saturation for the longest. And it's hard to, even now, I struggle with just wanting to go back to it because it feels good. It's a weakness. It's an addiction. And yeah, page 40 says, you too must have a heart change before you can be in a position to fully submit your body to the will of God. And that's the thing. You want to submit your body to the will of God, but it's hard. And you're going to need a book, and you're going to need a community. You're going to need friends to get you through this journey. So if you looking at this and you feeling like, you know, it's hard as a girl or a man, you have me. You can follow me on Facebook, Coriana Swan. I'll leave it at the bottom. And you can follow me on here. And we're going to get through this journey until we find that one that loves us and that adores God just as we adore God, and try to live out to how God wants us to live. So yeah, it says, I was trying to justify, excuse, and search for the shall not masturbate before I was willing to give it up. My heart wasn't in the right place. It says Christians are sinners too. The blood of Jesus was not shed to cover our pre-salvation sins. It was shed to cover every sin we would ever commit while dwelling on the earth. Page 46. So there it is. Christians are sinners too. We sin, but we need community to help us get through those times, or those thoughts and those feelings and those times that you just want to stack your station. You need God to get you through. You need community to get you through. Page 49. I knew I wasn't perfect, but when I compared my inactive sex life to the active sex life, those around me, I definitely had a holier than thou disposition. The worst part was that I didn't even recognize it. So, if you compare your life as a Christian or celibate woman or man to the lives of other people who are having sex, you're gonna feel like crap because they're getting it on, they're getting it in, and you're not. So don't compare yourself. Comparison is the thief of all joy. So yeah, don't compare yourself. Scripture. When Jesus had this, he told them, healthy people do not need a doctor, sick people do. I have come to call not those who think that they are righteous, but those who know that they are sinners. Mark 2:17, NIV translation, New International Version. So if you're not familiar with the Bible, it's Mark chapter 2 verse 17 in the NIV version, which is the New International Version. 63. Habits, addictions, and struggles with sexual sin all stem from a spirit of lust. Addictions of all kinds are hard to get over. You need to watch your eye gates, and what you're listening to. Basically, where do you let in your spirit? So yeah. Habits, addictions, struggles with sexual sin all stem from a spirit of lust. Lust, what you're wanting. That's what it all stems from. Basically, what you want, not what you need, not what you need to get through the day. It might feel like you need to stash your state to get that little urge out, but it's not needed. And it's easier said than done. Like I said, it's a constant struggle. I sometimes want to go back and when I'm bored or when I'm sad and go back and do it, but for what? When I'm just gonna be putting myself all the way back and whatnot. So God is telling you, it's all habits, it's all addictions. It's an addiction, and it's a struggle with sexual sin, all stemming from the spirit of lust. Page 69. As humans, we are sexual beings, and it is not a sin to desire sex, but your desire to please God must be stronger than your desire to please yourself. Did y'all hear that? Your desire to please God must be stronger than your desire to please yourself. And Lord knows I want a husband, a family, and I want a family that I want to show my kids this. So if they come across somebody that gets them lustful one day, or gets them in the mood one day, that they'll have this in their pocket to say, no, my mom taught me that my desire to please God is more important. And that's my main goal, is because I want to create legacy, and I want to create a space where my kids could look back and say, my mom did it. She fought the demons and the devil, and she won. So I want to keep my purity up. I want to stay pure and whole. And yeah, my desire to please God is more desirable than to please myself. And you have to have accountability. You have to have friends that are around you. Like I said, if you don't have any friends that are on this journey with you, I'll be your friend. You have a friend in me. She quoted in this book, a burning desire to please God is what enables me to say no when my flesh wants to say yes. That was by Gladys. That's her quote in the book. So yeah. Page 70. I wanted to read this page out without ruining your book, so I'm gonna read a little bit. You have to love God more than having sex. You have to love God more than being pleased. So you have to love God more than being pleased. You have to love God more than being comfortable. You have to love God more than fitting in. And that's the first paragraph. The fourth paragraph, I noted that you should read. For the love of God, be celibate. For the love of God, be sober. For the love of God, be set apart. For the love of God, be obedient. For the love of God, be faithful. And so I don't want to ruin the whole book, but I just want to get you to read the book. This is the book here. Pick you up a copy of this book because you won't be disappointed. The book retails for $15, so it's super cheap, and it came quick, especially if you have Prime. So yeah, that's my book review of this book, Imperfect. And I feel imperfect now speaking to you, and this is going to be on my page so I can look through it when I'm having those testing times. When I want to go stature state, or when I get a DM in my DM and a guy is trying to talk to me and messing up my celibacy journey. And I know that he's not about nothing, because it's just, you can tell by the fruit. When I'm feeling convicted and I feel like I want to do something, I'll look at this video and I'll be like, crying. You've been here before, you got through it, and God is going to be so pleasing of you. God is going to be so proud of you when you find that one of you. Thank you for watching it. Definitely leave a heart and let me know that you liked the video, and let me know if you're going to purchase the book. I'm just nosy. I want to be that girlfriend for you when you need it. I'm just nosy and I want to know. I don't gotta know all your whole business if you stash or staying or whatever, but let your girl know. Alright, love y'all. Peace, love, and happiness. Mwah. Peace.